So now we're going to use the RIDE problem solving strategy to solve one more math equation just to make sure we've got down this new strategy / technique to make sure we're able to solve some difficult word problems here in the future. So we're going to follow the same little things we did in the last time. So our first letter is R, which is read the problem. So Joe works at a Mankato candy shop. He earns $10.50 in profit for every box of candy sold. So how much would he profit if he sold 8 boxes? So we read the problem. Next is identify the relevant information. So let's take a look at this first sentence here. Joe works at a Mankato candy shop. We don't really need to know where he works. We just know that he works, and that's the most important. So none of this information in the first sentence is really relative or relevant. Next, he says he earns $10.50 in profit for every box of candy sold. That is going to be some relevant information because we need to know how much he makes for each box. So we'll circle a $10.50 for every box of candy sold. And next, it says how much would he earn if he sold 8 boxes. This is also going to be some relevant information because we need to know how much he would make if he sold 8 boxes. Next is the D in RIDE, which is determine the operation and unit for the answer. So we're going to use the same operation as we did in the previous problem, which is this little chart / graph, which we'll use to organize our information out. And the units for this one will be kind of the same as the last problem too. On the far left here, we'll start off with the price for 1 box, and then the middle one will be number of boxes, and on the far right it'll be the total profit. So we know that 1 box of candy is $10.50. Okay, so now that we have our stuff laid out with the operation and the units that we're going to be using, we're going to move on to our E, which is enter the correct numbers and then calculate, and then we'll check our answer finally to make sure it's correct. So we'll go through here, and we need to know how much for 8 boxes. So we'll start at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we'll go all the way down to 8, since we need to know how many he'd make in 8 boxes of candy sold. We know the price for 1 is going to stay the same, so we'll just leave that. And we know the price for 1 is $10.50, so his total profit on 1 box sold would be $10.50. Now to get the total for the number of boxes all the way down, it's kind of simple. We can either add this number onto the next one, or else we can do a little bit of multiplying. So we'll just double the first one so we know, so we can get what 2 boxes would be, because 2 boxes would be double the amount of 1 box. So 2 boxes would cost us $21. We know that because $21 is 2 times $10.50. And to get 3, we'll just add $10.50 onto that number, which gets us $31.50. We'll double the 2 to get 4, so that's $42. And then we'll add on $10.50 to that to get 5. So then that will take us to $52.50. And for 6 boxes, is just double the number for 3, which is going to be $63 even. We'll add $10.50 to that for the boxes total for 7, which will be $73.50. And lastly, to get 8, we'll just double the number 4, which gets us to $84 even for 8 boxes of candy sold. So now we need to go through and we check our answer. Since we got the total, which is $84 for 8 boxes of candy sold, we need to make sure we're right. So this is kind of where you can use a calculator or work your math out on the paper to see you're right, but I like to suggest doing both, starting with the paper way, just so you can get 2 chances to make sure your answer is right. Because there's been multiple times where I go through and then I mess up the multiplication portion and I figure it out on the calculator and I see that I actually messed up somewhere in my chart, and then I can go back and figure out where went wrong and what went wrong too. So for this one, let's figure it out and check it by going 1050 times 8 gets us 8 times 0 is 0, times 5 is 35, or 30, no 40, I'm sorry. This is why we're doing our math problems here. Put the 4 up there, 8 times 0 is 0, plus 4, and lastly, so we get $84, which marks and matches up with our chart over here, so we know 84 and 84, and then you plug it into your calculator, and you get $84 too. So we got 3 times over 84, so we know that 84 is correct. So then to answer our problem, he would profit $84 if he sold 8 boxes. And that's kind of how you use the RIDE problem solving strategy to solve some math equations. I really like this one because you get to visually see what you're working with, and you kind of get to go through each step and work your way towards the answer, which eventually will lead to you checking your answer 3 times to make sure you're right, which is always good. Thank you.